Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Inspired Show with Joe and George.
Oh, you're George today.
I'm George today. Yeah, gotta keep it spicy.
I think Jorge's definitely spicy.
You're right. Gotta keep it vanilla.
Well, yeah, that's George.
We're keeping it vanilla today. We're very.
Oh my God, you have multiple personalities by George.
We're keeping it very white. Very white. I can say that because I'm Latino, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like the whole thing where the minorities can
Latino.
make. Yeah.
I mean, we're diverse.
I am a brown man.
We're very diverse.
I'm a brown man. We're so excited to have you back. We're talking to the people. We're so excited to have you guys back. I hope these numbers keep growing. I think they're doing good.
I know we're getting a lot of traction.
Yeah, we kind of went almost viral on TikTok with
16,000 views.
That was
on one post,
and it was
of
your video
dome.
about what was the video about? Scams.
Oh, being scammed.
Well, we should take a note that's like, why did that?
Because it was drama.
Because it was drama.
Yeah, negative connotations. Yeah,
but we don't. We're going on a
We're
different.
inspired.
We're going inspiring people. We're not. This is not the depressing show.
Even
if we don't get the likes.
Can I tell you with that video when they first rolled it out and it said scammed, I had like a little butterfly in my stomach.
Yeah, I don't like the way that even because it was like the headline. Mm-hmm. But again, we're gonna cover that topic about the parasympathetic system in the humans being like how we gravitate towards bad news.
Yeah.
Because of fight or flight. But we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But first, we're going to open up what the whole episode is about. This is our deepest episode yet.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
who's over there.
What life is about. My dog is there, so I'm trying to make sure he's okay.
Oh, Meester, the mascot.
We're going to talk about what life is about.
What is life about?
What is life about?
Oh, boy. This is gonna, we only have 30 minutes,
I wish
right?
I could see the eye rolling and like the people watching this like, oh, my God.
I know, right? But
what is life about for you?
This is only a 30-minute episode, right?
I know, but all right. So we got to do the cliff notes of what we think life is about. And we're going to do it beautifully and brilliantly. Be brilliant, be brave, be gone. Go.
Okay. I think, in my opinion, what life is about is serving others.
Okay.
Wow. Very simple.
That's. What about personal gain? Where does that come?
I mean, personal gain will come through serving others.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
It's a reciprocal effect.
Yeah.
Right? If I give more than I want to receive, or if I give more than I receive, then it'll all come back to me tenfold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I do think, there is that element that I believe, we're all one in a way. So that's why when I talk bad about others or when I criticize others, I'm also criticizing myself.
Exactly.
You're projecting. And what I don't get is even this morning, I'm at the gym and I see this friend of mine and he's just, both of us we're being so meticulous about what we even talk about. Mm-hmm. Like we're not going to talk bad about people because we know that that's just such a boomerang. Right. Who cares if they find out or not? But if we're talking about others in that way, that means when everyone's gone, that's how we're talking about ourselves.
Right. So
when there's no one out there to attack, then the mind will attack itself in a way. So anyway, this friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a while started just telling me, hey, so did you hear, right off the bat, it's like, ooh, did you hear this guy's getting divorced? Now, I know in our culture, talking about somebody getting divorced is not such a big deal, but if that person
60% of the society ends up in divorce.
But if that person was there knowing that you're just casually spreading that he or she's getting divorced, I don't think they would be delighted. No, at the very least. So it's just it's so interesting
because you're getting entertainment out of someone else's demise.
Yeah. And shortcomings, mm-hmm. and I know it seems like it's benign to do that, but it adds up, yes. and then we start kind of taking an inventory of our conversations, right? And how much of our conversations is about either gossip or the things are falling apart or my life sucks or that sucks, and then it becomes kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, don't you think?
I 100% agree. I believe that we all have this invisible expectation box, and there's a house and there's a car and there's a relationship and how that relationship is supposed to be. And, we've all envisioned what our life is supposed to be like. And then we force that expectation box on others without them knowing it. And then from there, if they don't fit that little piece of the puzzle that's in your expectation box, we lash out and we try to force them to change and see things the way that we see.
Because that's how you also apply it to yourself.
Exactly.
So it's like, the Bible kind of got it right when they said, love thy neighbor like you love thyself. And it's like, yeah, like if I hate you, I hate me.
Exactly. Look in the mirror.
Yeah. There's
right?
no other
Michael
way
Jackson.
around it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So I think that it's, it's like, I don't not talk about people because I'm this holy person or because, I'm trying to do better. I don't know. It's like, to the simplest form, I don't talk about people because I wanna have a good life. And I know that if I start injecting gossip and talking bad about others, it really is just me talking. Since we're all one, I mean, this could get really deep in the sense of like, I'm never gonna really meet you. I'm always gonna meet my story of who I think you are, and you're gonna meet my story who you think I am. And I have a story of who you are. Kyler has a story of who you are. Your wife, your sister, but who's right? I mean, maybe we're just seeing parts in you that we have in us, and then I'm calling them Joe, but they're all me.
Right.
That's why when I'm mad at you, or when I think that you are a piece of shit or whatever, then I'm the one that's hurting.
That's right.
So it's all about, like, if you really
Disclaimer real quick, you never get mad at me and you never think I'm a piece of shit.
I yell once in a while, but I want to say more like but so, man, if you know that you control the power to clear your narrative about people, then why spend the time trying to, it's almost like we're a movie projector, right? And your life is being projected in a screen, and then it's like the contractor. And then you go after the contractor, you do all this, and finally set them straight. Then it's your wife. And then you clean up that wall, and then it's your body or your health or your sister or your mom. When in reality, all you have to do is clean the projector, and then they all get clear.
Ooh, that's gold right there. That's gonna get the next 16.
I don't want to drop the mic because I can't really put it back up, but
yeah,
fictitious mic drop.
Mic drop.
So it really comes down to that. It's like, how can, for example, when we had our situation with that contractor, that for a while, we were both hung up on it. I think you got a little bit more hung up on it, and you were like, "Oh my God, this guy needs to stop. We need to report him and all that."
There was that moment.
Yeah, there was that moment, and I was like, it's like, this is happening, and I know it sucks, but it's here to heal you from whatever trauma you think that people have taken advantage of you or whatever. And the more that, let's fire him. I'm in agreement with you, but making this person wrong and going after this person, mind you, we don't know who he knows.
Right.
It's just not.
What's that going to accomplish?
Yeah.
Right?
And what's the revenge factor that could
what's the
accomplish?
repercussions of that?
Yeah. And I commend you for really understanding that point. And you got to a place where you're like, you know what, this guy was just extremely busy. And he just wasn't focusing on the project. But you humanized it in a way that it worked for you not to get triggered. And that was really cool.
Yeah. And that all came from me having expectations.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And so everything that happens in your life is a setup for the next thing that's about to have a great moment in your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're going through these learning lessons in our real estate investment journey, and we're on the edge of a major breakthrough.
Yeah.
And I think that is important to understand about life, right?
But
because the biggest challenges come with the greatest reward, right?
Yeah, and at the same time, we're also, I mean, and how do you want to get the lesson anyway? Do you want to get it when, like, life is, when you're in complete disaster mode, or do you want to, like scale as things are going great, and then they're just getting better and better and better, right? Because I think that that's why we do the work, and that's why we, that's what we're talking to you about. How can you scale your life and not wait until, for example, like the message of acceptance, right? Do you want to get acceptance when someone cuts you off the road and you're not telling them to fuck off? Do you want to get acceptance there, or do you want to get acceptance when your oncologist tells you that you have cancer? Like where do you finally want to get the lifelong lesson of acceptance?
Yeah.
I'd rather get it now.
Yeah.
Right? When it's like when my dog shits on the carpet, or you know what I mean? Instead of like when something much bigger in life happened. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I think that in summary of that, it's, how do we want to be viewed at the moment that we're actually experiencing that, biggest, objection in life, right? You talk about illness, you talk about all of the things that we go through, and it's the response to that is how our acceptance is warrant or given to us, right? I've been well known for not stepping up in those moments and showing a side that is not becoming to me. But that only impacts me. It doesn't impact the other person, right? They're not going to want to work with me anymore because of the way that I respond to that situation, or they're going to want to run and get away as fast as they can, and then that will only bring another experience down the line that's not conducive to where we want to go. Right?
Yeah. It's kind of like that. It's easier to attract bees with honey than vinegar, right?
Exactly.
It's like, I wasn't clear about what you were saying, like how you're going to be viewed, but now I got it. You're saying like, what are you going to leave people with?
Yep.
Are you going to be losing your mind, being reactive, or are you going to come from a place of generosity and love and acceptance,
and gratitude.
And gratitude. So I don't know if we kind of even covered within the near vicinity of what life is about, but I do think that it is this constant letting go.
Yeah.
I think that the human machine we're built to let go of everything.
Yeah.
And it's like we grow up and we have to let go of our youth. We have to let go of our dreams.
Yeah.
We go for our things, but some things we got to let go, right? Like if you're 70 years old, you're not going to be skiing like an 18-year-old anymore. You got to let go of that. So we let go of our health. We let go of our parents. And then at the end, we let go of these bag of bones, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And if you're hearing my beautiful little doggy growl, I don't think the mic picks it up, but it's really cute. You ever see how great he's a Chihuahua, and his R's are impeccable.
Oh.
He's he's got great R's. Yeah, I wish I could grab him, but I have to like sneak around this mic. But he'll be back, and
he'll
I'll
be
grab
back.
him.
He's in protect mode right now.
So it's like,
but
man,
I think
maybe it is maybe the clearest, most truest form of what life is about is. Do you have to go somewhere?
No, I just got buzzed.
Maybe the truest kind of simplest reason for life is to learn how to let go. What do you think?
Learn how to let go, yeah, and I think become a faithful servant of others, right? Because the more you give, the more you receive.
Yeah.
Right. That's primarily my focus on any type of business that I get involved in. We're in real estate investment business, and the reason why you want to, obviously money's great, but it's to help the community, get rebuilt, right? I love the fact that we can go into a place in a community like Watts or like Woodcrest Riverside or any of the projects that we worked on, and take this rundown home and revive it and let somebody else come in and make it their forever home or create a family. And that's a servitude attitude, right?
Yeah. And you're right. And it's not just the more you give, the more you get. And it's not just financial, obviously. It's like, the rewards are in multiple levels, right? It's emotionally, and it's in yeah, and I love, for example, I think my biggest kind of where I apply my generosity of giving the most is like when I find like some sort of, personal development tool or someone, a guru that I'm constantly like sending videos out to. And now it's so great because now it's like, I'm not even saying you got to pay. It's like, here, there's a million videos on YouTube that you can watch on meditation, all this. And I don't know,
What an amazing
no
time
one's
we live
really
in.
like me in that. I really send it out,
Yeah.
but it just makes me so happy that people are having a better quality of life and that I had something to do with it.
And that's your serving.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you serve others. Right.
Yeah.
You belong to many charities. I also belong to many charities. I donate as much as I possibly can whenever I can. So that way, people are impacted around the world with my monetary successes, and that makes me feel good. But it's also something that I'm hoping that will be returned to me in some way down the line. Right. So I just really feel that the biggest impact.
So you're giving it so you can get it back.
That sounds a little selfish, but it's a good. I think it's a good selfish.
Listen, yeah. I mean, as long as we'll never. It's like people that do a lot of charity, and I certainly don't put myself in that category. I mean, there's people that are like serious, like philanthropists, and also like volunteers. There's people like I don't go every Wednesday to the homeless thing. I go once in a while, but. Right. Like there's people that go there every Wednesday and then, and they take pictures and stories and I think it's beautiful, but you could always, I guess, argue it's like, oh, you do it or you take pictures there so people can see that you're so good, right?
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's like, who cares?
Who cares?
I mean,
they're
helping people.
They're doing the work.
Like, what are you doing? Just sitting there saying, oh, you're doing charity work so you can feel better about yourself, but you're not even doing that. So whatever the motive is, which we'll never know, it's probably actually our motive to help is probably just from trauma anyways, in a way. But who cares? If someone's getting positively impacted by our actions, then let's go for it.
Right. So let's continue to serve.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's serving your elderly grandparent or serving your friend with a nice 10-minute motivational meditation video.
Serving a lawsuit.
Or serving a lawsuit.
Serving.
Whatever that happen, whatever that looks like. Serving a plate of food, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think that I personally get so much out of it. I certainly don't, I have a little brother from the Little Big Brother program and we've been together now for 7 years. He was like 7 when we started hanging out. Now he's 14, and I don't see him that often. But now he's a freshman in high school. Wait,
yeah, there it is.
There he is. I so want him to make it. Yeah,
he woke up from his nap and he's fired up.
I sometimes I do kind of ask myself like, God, I wonder why not more people have that intrinsic desire to help. Like I do, right?
Yeah.
Well, but we're all different.
We talk about this all the time about our electromagnetic energy, and when we put out that service to others and what that attracts to us.
Yeah.
Right? And then I've never gone to a volunteer event and not smiled all day long. Yeah. And just felt the energy from everyone around us that is being a part of that. Right?
It's true.
So if we can all get into that servant mindset, that's what life is about to me. That's just my opinion.
No, I think that's awesome. This reminds me of, that the time that I went to the 1 week intensive at Dr. Joe Dispenza's weekend, we had to do these healings where basically you're either a healer or a healee, right? Mm-hmm. If you're the healee, literally there were people there that had advanced stage of cancer or any kind of illnesses, and they would break us up into groups and like 5 of us to 1, right? So 5 people would heal 1.
All that energy.
And we wouldn't even touch them. We would just like hold our hands and put it. If you're a fly on the wall, it probably looks amazing. But anyway, so we would do this healing and this music and man, and you would get so emotional. You can feel 1,800 people just sending love, right, to all these healies. And at the end, on the first time I did it, when we broke the group up, Dr. Joe said, isn't it? Do you feel how do you guys feel in the love-o-meter, right? And how much love you feel right now? And I never felt more love in my life than in that moment that I was giving love, right? Yeah. And then he said, isn't it funny that you never felt more love in your life and you weren't getting the love, you were giving it, and that was a bit of a mind-blown moment.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I got to go to one of those intensives. I'm looking forward to being able to go.
Yeah. No, you would love it. You would love it.
But that's also like, you get prayer circles.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of people together serving and, using their energy to lift a charity up or something of that nature, right? You do those charity walks. I mean, I've done the breast cancer a 5K walk, and I'll tell you, it's like it's all throughout LA, and I don't think I've ever seen the city of LA be brighter. I mean, of course, everybody's wearing pink, but it's so bright with energy because of everybody's walking for the same reason and for the same purpose. They've been impacted by breast cancer, and there's so many survivors from different stages, and they're all here to raise money to help technology advance, so that way we can not encounter this disease anymore. But
my dog again barking.
But that energy is what is being put out because we are all in it together, right? And we're experiencing the same thing at the same time. Yeah. So again, it comes down to giving out what you want to receive back.
Yeah, I think that if we all really got that, if we all understood that we really get back what we give, like it's not even like, I'm not even saying karma. It doesn't matter what belief system you have, but it really is just you can see it in people's lives.
See it in people's lives.
You can see it. The ones that have it the worst are the ones that are always complaining.
Yes.
And we talked about this in some of the episodes before. It's like, I really do think that we are so emotionally addicted to our lives. So if the addiction is complaining, it's almost like if we're not complaining, we're like that heroin addict that needs to get that fix.
Yes.
And then I see you and I'm like, oh my God, Joe, can you believe this motherfucker? Like trying to, like went over.
It's almost like you're planning it.
Well, I'm letting it out, right? Because I'm like, or like, if I would have grabbed you on Sunday and told you about the flooding that I had in the crawl space at the property, and be like, dude, can you believe, like that knee-jerk reaction that we have to like tell our sad stories or complain to let it out, but in reality, we're just almost like cementing those cortisol. Those chemical levels of stress.
Yep.
And just like a drug addict and I keep doing this like this. I've never done heroin before, but I've seen the movies. I think this is where it goes.
You've seen the movies.
I've seen the movies. I think it goes in the veins. So that impulse that we have to let it out, it's actually just the addiction that we have to take the shot.
Yeah.
And then once I complain or gossip, or then all of a sudden like, oh, I took the shot, and then I'll look at you and be like, oh, thank God. You're there. You're my boy. I got to tell you how I felt, and then I'll feel that temporary relief because I just took the shot, and then 2 hours from now, my body's gonna crave another stressful situation,
detox,
and then that toxic situation will walk right into my life.
And isn't it funny that you'll find yourself calling somebody and repeating the same story to that other person, just so that way you can have that same experience, because it's not the same person. You won't have it with the same person.
No, you're done with that one.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you got to go find somebody else.
You're used and abused.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to go find somebody else.
Yeah, you got to find somebody else and tell them that same story.
Yeah.
And I used to always, I used to have the analogy of it's like scrambling eggs. Like they're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. You're just moving them from one side of the pan to the other. Mm-hmm. And I know it's hard at the beginning, but if we just shut up and really practice that and detox from that addiction that we have to complain, it, in my experience, obviously,
your life is going
easier,
to
and it
enhance.
gets easier and easier.
Yeah.
It gets easy, and problems sort out by themselves. I actually think like a lot of, the human body, is meant to heal itself. And what delays it from healing is stress.
Yep.
Because we're so in survival and our parasympathetic system's up, and we're not letting the body do its thing because we're like, oh my God, the disease, gotta go to the doctor, gotta go. And
yeah, so
and
you're in a constant cycle of fight or flight.
Yeah, we're just not letting the body do its thing, which is for us to get out of the way and let it heal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
what are some ways that you feel that you serve others?
Listen, I think that the serving others conversation for me is just my generosity when it comes to letting you be who you are. Once years ago I heard what is love, right? Like there's millions of songs that are trying to describe what love is, but nobody can tangibly describe what is love, right? It's a feeling, it's this. And one of the truest, simplest forms that I ever heard, love is allowing someone the space for being, right? So when you love, which is generosity, right? And it's like, whether I agree with you or not, I let you be who you are. And I think for me, that's the biggest service you can do. It's like, can I accept you? Can I accept my dog? Can I accept Kyler with his great hair? Can I accept everyone? Acceptance, yeah. Acceptance is like...
And not trying to change somebody.
Not trying to change somebody is the biggest way that you can love somebody. And by the way, that doesn't mean they need to be your contractor, or that doesn't mean they need to be your partner or your friend. It's like, babe, I love you. You do you.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really work for me anymore.
One of the things that I actually relate to in a lot of the trainings that we've been doing with
I knew he would make his cameo.
There he is.
Hello, I am El Mister. So in case you heard him barking, this is him.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I have this we have this thing where, like, my story is that he thinks he's been kidnapped by me. So his whole thing is that he's always looking at my friends going, hey, help me, I am captive. Sorry. I got yelled at. So that's it.
He was trying to give you a better image of Meester.
Moment's gone. But now everybody got to see Meester, so it's good.
I'm going to bring Molly the next episode.
Bring Molly, yeah. Molly, he likes a brown girl. Wait, what kind of dog? Obviously, mine's like a little Chihuahua. What's Molly again?
She's a Labradoodle.
She's a Labradoodle. They have the best personality. He's a spicy.
He's spicy.
He's spicy.
That's why he's so Meester instead of a Mister.
So listen, I don't know if we